Hello and welcome to Tiffany's Tiny Things. Today's video is going to be something really special. It's a collaboration between me and a bunch of amazing artists here on YouTube. And we are all making mermaids for MerMay. And the doll artists are Dolly Pop, I Could Do That DIY, Jackie O, Lady Dynamite Creates, and Steffu Doll. Electric Bunny and Fairyman Dolls videos will be coming later, so keep a lookout for that. My doll you will see in the beauty shots in the end of this video. And we are all making different kinds of dolls, but I am basing mine off a Blythe doll. And my vision for her is to be inspired by Harajuku, kawaii, and maybe a little bit edgy also. So let's get started. And here is the base doll that I will be using for this video. And as you can see, she has this beautiful dark blue hair with tinsel in it. Perfect for a mermaid. But we'll start with disassembling her head. Just take out all of the screws here and put the hair aside for later. And I remove the eyes. As you can see, she has this little mouthpiece that go inside her open mouth, and we'll see if I'll use that later or something else. And I just remove the eyeballs from the eyelids and rip out the eyelashes. Now we have all the pieces ready for customization. So I made a very simple pattern for her mermaid tail. As you can see here, my plan is to make the fins on the side, and I will be using this very glittery and shiny stretchy fabric. Just make sure that the stretch goes the right way before cutting into it. And then I just draw out the tail piece here on the back side. And we'll need a front and a back. And here are the fabric I will be using for the fins. My plan is to kind of scrunch it up. I'll just cut out the pieces I need for this. Also some lighter, more glittery fabric you see here that is a little bit shorter. And I will just gather this together like that. And now I will take the gathered pieces and sew them on one of the pieces on the inside of the pieces, if you know what I mean, so that we will see them without like raw edges from the outside. And here we have the smaller fin pieces that will go like higher up on the hip. I don't know what you call it on a fishtail, but yeah, below the waist. And I just gather that as well, and we'll do exactly the same thing here, that I will sew it on the inside of the tail. And I will just sew that on the inside of the tail. So I couldn't really film this, but here you see what I mean. I sewed the pieces like on the inside so that when I turn it the right side out, the fins pop out. So yeah, it was a bit tricky because the fins are very fluffy, but yeah, I just made a little mistake there, but that's no problem. I just cut that out. So yeah, here we have it. And I decided to make kind of pointy bits of the fins. I didn't like the square shape. So if you want to make this like the same, I recommend cutting it like this before you attach it, before you gather it, because it was a bit fiddly. But now in the end, I'm very happy with the results. And I decided that our little mermaid also needed a pair of bikini bottoms because she needs to be able to walk around on the beach if she wants to. I will also be 3D printing some stuff for her, a crown, a stand, and also some seashells for her bikini top. And I got these files from Cults 3D online. Yeah, here is my Lego Saturn 4 Ultra. Thank you so much, Lego, for sending me this printer after I paid for it. It works really well. And here we have all the printed pieces, and this crown is actually for human size, but I just shrunk it down to fit the Blythe head, and I think it works really well. And for the stand here, I will just use a wooden dowel in it, and here are the little seashells for her bikini. And now we can start painting everything with some regular acrylics. I will start with the stand here, and I'm just trying out some watery shapes. But in the end I was just not happy with that, so I removed all the paint and spray painted the whole thing in one solid blue color. Now I'm just doing some decorations with some acrylic marker on it, and I think it turned out really cute. I also add some shimmer to the whole thing and then seal it in with some glossy varnish. And now for the seashells. I use this sticky putty on a stick so I can actually paint them without holding them in my big hands. And I start with a base color of dark blue. And I'll let that dry. I'll do the same thing with the crown. I just cover almost the whole thing with this dark blue. And then I go in with some pinks on some of the seashells and stuff. And other crystals, I'm trying for some kind of ombre gradient effect with different teals and blues, as you can see. I think it kind of worked out. And we'll let that dry, and now we can cover the little seashells with some golden mica powder. And I kind of want the blue to shine through a little bit. When I'm happy with that, we just seal that in with some glossy varnish. And now we can continue with the crown. And as you see, I do some gradient with pink on the shells also. Is it shells when they are this shape? I don't know. You know what I mean. And now I'll do some golden details on the crown as well. Then I cover the whole thing in shimmering mica powder that matches the different colors. And then I seal it in with some glossy varnish. And now I'll just add some pearls and golden chains to the crown and to the outfit, like that. And as you see on the tail. And now you see the inside of the crown looks a bit bad. So I will add this crafting foam, and on top of that I will add some blue ribbon that will also work as, holding it on her head later, so you can actually tie it in the back. So now it looks much better, and I can actually attach it to her head. Look at that. And I made her a very simple bikini top with some Velcro in the back, and we will just add the seashells like this with some fabric glue. And then I decided that it looks a little bit too simple, so I added a lot of pearls to this as well. And with that, her outfit is done. And now I will start with sanding her face and back plate and the eyelids. Then I just mark out on the face with a regular pencil where I want to be carving, and I start with using my Dremel, and then I just go back and forth with the Dremel, my X-Acto knife and other tools just to create the shapes that I want. And when I'm happy with how she looks, I just sand everything with the finest grit sanding paper so that I don't leave any scratches on her. As you see, I contemplate using the old teeth, but I think they are a little bit too small. And I realize I have these other teeth from another doll I did a while back, and they are a little bit bigger, so I will use them instead. And here I just cut out a piece from the eyelids, and this is to boggle the eyes. It makes her eyelids open a bit wider. I made a sketch of her in Procreate on how I want to paint her face, and as you can see, it's a little bit different than the usual style I make. So I'm gonna start with sketching out everything with a very light blue pencil, and I use watercolor pencils for this. And when I'm happy with all of the sketches, I start painting with some Vallejo acrylics. And as you see, I use a very dark blue for the fish side of her face. And then I'll continue with a lighter blue on the seashell side. And then I also paint the eyelids so that they seamlessly match what I painted before. I'll do all the line work and outlines with a very, very light blue, almost white. I paint some dots on her with pure white. We can call them freckles. And then I cover those freckles with this metallic watercolor that is a very, very light golden color. You see they shimmer a little bit. And now that the painting is done, she will get some blush on her cheeks with some soft pastels. And I chose a very pinkish pink for that. And as you see, I also put some extra on the stars here so they pop out a bit more. And now I'll paint the back plate, and it's kind of the same as on the front. I sketch out everything with some light watercolor pencils, and then I fill it in with Vallejo acrylics. And as you can see soon, it will be a cute little mermaid. And now that I'm done with all of the painting, I just cover everything in a shimmer. Yes, it will dull down a little bit when I cover it in Mr. Super Clear, but you can still see it, and I think it adds a little something. But of course the lips needs to be shiny, so I add this glossy varnish. As a little extra, I made these earrings in resin, and they will fit both the doll and people, humans, you know, so you can wear them, the doll can wear them, everyone can wear them. Look at that. Perfect. I also made her 4 pairs of new eyes, 1 pair with dolphins and glitter, 1 with 2 kinds of glitter, and 1 3D pair with a starfish, and these blue shimmery ones. And now I'll just glue them in with some regular school glue. She will also get these brand new eyelashes that are gradient from teal to pink out in the tips, and they are really cool. And now I will modify her neck with this neck joint that I bought from Beth Ramsden. Thanks a lot, Beth. And as you see, I just poke a hole and pre-screw the screw inside, and then I attach the joint that will make her head more movable. And also we will modify her knees so that they will be more firm. She will stand more stable. I do that by adding these little tiny screws. And then I just pop them back in the legs, and now she won't bend them as easily as before, because you know Blythe dolls are very top heavy. Now it's time for the gaze correction. You see this little T-bar. If you leave it as is, she stares. But if you cut off 1 millimeter or so, she will look a little bit more upwards, like this. And that is what we want, because it looks a little bit more like not crazy. So I'm very happy with that. So now we can go ahead and assemble her. I made her these new pull strings. She will require 2 now, 1 for opening the eyes and 1 for closing them. And then I just put the screws back in where I found them. But then I realized that you actually see inside the head through the mouth, so I disassembled her again and added this air drying clay that I just colored with some mica powder. Just pushed that in and put her back together, and now it looks perfect. And now I'll need to cut her bangs because they are way too long. I just flatten them a little bit with some hair gel, and then I'll start cutting. And now she is finally finished, and here are all the extra little things that will be included. Here is a shaker I made for her with some goldfish, the earrings, her crown, and some extra little hair pieces and just some extra little things. Her tail, her bikini top, bikini bottoms, her stand, her little water donut, a bag, we can pretend it stands for mermaid fashion, and some little flip-flops. And here you have everything, and now it's time for the beauty shots. If you want to buy this doll, she will be available in my Etsy shop, and you find the link for that in the description below the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like, subscribe, and push the bell button. And also leave a comment on what you think about this mermaid collaboration and everything. Also a big thank you to my Patreons. If you want to be a Patreon, you find the link for that in the description box below this video. And also a big thank you to all of my friends in this collaboration. Don't forget to check out all of their videos. Dolly Pop, I Could Do That DIY, Jackie O, Lady Dynamite Creates, Steffu Doll, and Electric Bunny and Fairyman Dolls. I'll see you next time! Bye!